So we got to rock with them. And it don't look like the Cowboys done with them, so we got to figure out how we can win with them. And I feel like one of the best ways to do it is to get them a better wide receiver too. So let's get into some of this conversation real quick. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, let's get into this conversation. They had an article about the wide receiving core. So yeah, y'all check me out, tune in for the win. Okay, it says a look at the 2023 Cowboys wide receiving, grading the player's performance. It says Dallas gets to wake up this Sunday morning and have a clear schedule. Instead of preparing for the NFC Championship game, the players and the coaches get to work out, have a big breakfast or sleep in if they feel like it. They can thank Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and the rest of the Green Bay Packers for the early freedom. Green Bay marched into Dallas on a wild card weekend and throttled the Cowboys by the score of 48-32. Earlier this week, I started my series of grading the Cowboys' key contributors by position. We have gone through quarterback, running back, and tight end. So today, move on to the wide receivers. Premium stats provided by Pro Football Focus. Wide receiver. Wait a minute. Hold on. What happened? Okay, wide receiver. It said the Cowboys fielded 5 wide receivers who played in at least 10 games and were contributors to the offense in 2023. Okay, CeeDee Lamb. Do we really even got to go over CeeDee Lamb? We know CeeDee Lamb was phenomenal, but we'll try to get through it quickly. PFF overall NFL ranking 90.9, 6th in the league, 4th in receiver in the league. What can we say about CeeDee Lamb after a season with 135 receptions and 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns? We can say he was spectacular because he was. Lamb broke Cowboys' franchise record for reception and yards that had been held by Michael Irvin since '95. PFF Essential ranks him the top 5 for overall and receiving grades, but he was also top 5 in many other metrics. Lamb led the NFL in receptions and targets, routes ran, and receptions, resulting in first downs 87. She had 87 first downs. That boy ball. He was top 5 in YAC, yards after catch, with 709, missed tackles forced 20, and 7th in YAC per route run, 2.69. Grade A+. Lamb made first team All-Pro for the first time in his career and silenced all the doubters with his performance in 2023. He was the heartbeat of the Cowboys offense, and it would have looked completely different without him. That's an absolute fact right there. Trap. We can't deny what CeeDee Lamb did and what he meant to this football team. He actually was the engine of this football team as far as the offense go outside of Dak. And that's why I said spam Lamb. And look, if you think about it, if I gotta say spam Lamb, that means it ain't too much other stuff hitting on nothing. That's trap. Don't that sound like it ain't too much other stuff that's even in consideration like that? If I say use this one method so much that it won't matter about the other stuff. That's what I was saying. So, it's obvious that I wasn't too confident in the other weapons like that, because when we tried to use those guys, it never worked out in our favor. It just never did. So now, Brandon Cooks. Okay, PFF overall NFL ranked 68.8, 57th in the league. PFF receiver NFL ranked 69.9, 55th in the league. After Lamb, the receiver grades for the Cowboys fall off a cliff. Brandon Cooks' ranking are shown above, and they are the next highest on the team. That's not great, y'all. That's not great. The number 2 receiver, numbers looking like that. And we know, like I said, it don't matter who fault it was. We talking about what happened. Even if it wasn't Brandon Cooks' fault, it was the organization and Mike McCarthy's fault for not being able to use him. It was somebody at fault because we needed more from Brandon Cooks and we just didn't get it. So this is not necessarily to bash Brandon Cooks. This is just to tell you that we need number 2 production. That's all it means. We need a number 2 that's producing. PFF grades seem a bit harsh, but that's just the harsh reality of the Cowboys not having another player at receiver who was able to contribute consistently. When Cooks was good, the offense was so much better, but on the games where he failed to show up, the offense struggled. Cooks finished the year with 54 catches and 657 yards and 8 touchdown receptions. Grade C. The veteran, they gave him a C. What y'all think about that? I think a C is pretty fair. You might be able to give him a C+. I don't know. What y'all grade Brandon Cooks in the chat? We ain't have to do CeeDee Lamb because I think everybody would have said A++++. So what y'all would grade Brandon Cooks, man? I think a C is fair. I really think a C is fair. It says the veteran wide receiver was dubbed Mr. 1K by the fans when Dallas sent the 5th round pick to Houston for his services. We can't completely blame his failure to reach 1,000 yards for the 7th time in his career. The offense didn't get going until after the San Francisco loss, a game in which Cooks caught just 1 pass for 7 yards. That seemed to be the theme for Cooks as he eclipsed 60-yard mark just twice and had 7 games with 2 receptions or less. That's not gonna get it, bro. That's not gonna get it. That's not gonna get it, man. Like I said, we're not saying it's all Brandon Cooks' fault. That's not what we saying. We just saying, let's take Cooks' name out of it because he's supposed to be number 2 receiver. Those numbers are not good enough for number 2 receiver. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Whoever fault it is, they need to be blamed. But number 2 receiver was not hidden on nothing. It was not given, as the people say. Okay, Mr. Michael Gallup. You know, the guy I put on the thumbnail because, hey, it's tough conversations out here these days. Michael Gallup, PFF overall grade, NFL rank 63.4, 82, man. Okay, it's 2 star receivers, maybe 3 star receivers on each team. It's 32 teams. Like, bro, you close to the bottom of all the receivers. Trap. That's very low, Michael. Like, hey, we gave you a whole nother year, and I was on your side, bro. We gave you a whole nother year, and I was on your side. Now, we got to bring that to court, bro. We got to talk about this because I can't support this. I can't take up for this. It's nothing we can be. Look, you had 2 whole years. 2 of them. And we haven't got our get back yet. We might just have to let you go. Let it go. We might have to just let you go, MG. I can't support this. Since signing a 5-year, $67.5 million deal 2 years ago, Gallup has made the Cowboys look foolish. Not foolish now. Wait a minute, man. Let me credit these people. Shout out to the Star, bro, because they sound like they cooking on here. Made the Cowboys look foolish for giving him that contract after an ACL injury. We tried to go cheap, and it went back. It backfired. It really did. Gallup was invisible most of the season and eventually lost the bulk of his snaps to rookie 7th-round pick Jalen Brooks. That wasn't necessarily true. Your info is flawed right here, Mr. Star. Trap. But man, for that to be your highest paid receiver and to get that type of production back, man, that's criminal. That's terrible right there. But he ended up with a statistical output reminiscent of the rookie season when he was the 4th option on the offense. Yikes. A grade F. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I think that's fair right there. Trap. It's sad when an F is fair. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. You can't put a 0 on kids' report cards, so that's one of them moments right there. Some states, they don't let you put a 0 on them. Like, this man did absolutely nothing. We can't let you say that about the kids, but you know what your child be doing. The Cowboys have a decision to make this offseason. They can move on from Gallup and his contract with minimal dead cap space if they designate him a post-June cut. My colleague Shane Taylor details it in the most recent article. The Cowboys may even have some trade suitors as Gallup saved his best performance, 6 receptions, 102 yards for the wild card performance game. Hey, be our guest. If you want to take Michael Gallup after that one game, we are very much so open for it, sir. We are very much so open for that. We need you to get that. But it says Mr. Kavontae Turpin. Turpin, PFF overall, NFL ranked 67.7, 66. Now we know in very much way fewer snaps, way fewer attempts, he still was higher. You know, it's easier to have a higher grade when you didn't show as much on tape. So we ain't gonna do Michael Gallup like that, but good grief. Like, Turpin still was higher at a 66. He was the 66th rank and 69.9 with a 56 rank in PFF receiving. Kavontae Turpin was brought in before the 2022 season from the USFL primarily as a kick and punt returner. Turpin has become so much more than that for the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy has shown us flashes of what he can do in this offense. Unfortunately, there hasn't been enough for Kavontae Turpin getting offensive touches to make a larger impact in the offense. They gave him a B. I think that's too high. What y'all grade Kavontae Turpin? That's too high. I say maybe a C+. And it ain't his fault that he wasn't getting involved, but still, I think a B too high. Because we didn't see enough. I can't say a B. But they gave him a B, and they says Turpin only touched the football on offense 23 times throughout the entire season, but he did make an impact when involved. I can give him that. I can agree to that, though. That's pretty much what I said on my video. Even in a small sample size, he still made an impact. His 12 receptions for 127 yards don't jump off the page, but 9 of those 12 were for first down, and he hauled in 3 touchdowns. He also rushed the ball 11 times for 110 yards and a touchdown, averaging 10 yards per tote. I hope to see Kavontae Turpin return to 2024 and see him get utilized more in the offense. That's exactly what we said. We'll say Mike McCarthy took a nice step in the positive direction because Kellen Moore barely used the man. At least Mike McCarthy got him involved at all. So maybe they could take another step. They can build on what they did this year. Kavontae Turpin can develop into a more dynamic weapon for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. So I think a C+ is fair for Kavontae Turpin. Trap. I think a C+ is fair. Let's see what the people said. I see a lot of C-, D+. D+ is harsh, Joe Tranchino. D+ is pretty harsh. C. Burleson says B. 434 says C-. Yeah, he was a little underwhelming on the kick return this year, wasn't he, y'all? He did better in the wide receiving department, but as far as the kick returner, he kind of dropped off. Like, I don't remember too many big plays. I know he had some, but he used to be more effective on the kickoff return. But to be fair, this defense wasn't getting no punts, remember? So trap. This defense was not forcing any punts. So, hey, we got to be fair to the young man. So if they would have been forcing more punts, he might have had a better opportunity to be more impactful as a punt returner. He had plenty on the kickoff return, though. Trap. That defense was giving us some touchdowns and some points now. Hey, he had a lot of opportunities in the kickoff return, but not in the punt return department. The next receiver, Jalen Tolbert, you know, the friend of the show. PFF overall grade, NFL rank, 56.5. Yikes, 119th. PFF receiving, 58. Yikes, 118th. Jalen Tolbert is near Michael Gallup when it comes to the level of disappointment in their play this season. Yikes. I ain't gonna lie, I disagree with that because, like we just said, we didn't see him that much. And then I kind of feel the same way I feel about Kavontae Turpin about Tolbert, because we didn't see him a lot, but when he got his opportunities, Tolbert shined. So what you want from the young man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we said, we don't know. It don't matter who fault it is, though. But we wasn't expecting a big-time role from him this year. Not when we brought Brandon Cooks in. So it's a different situation when I'm talking about who was considering Jalen Tolbert wide receiver 3. Who was considering Jalen Tolbert wide receiver 3? Willie T said, Landlord disagree because he a friend of the show. I think it's foul though, Willie T. Cause listen, this is what I'm saying. When they brought in Brandon Cooks, who did you look at as the wide receiver 3? Who? It went Jalen Tolbert. You looked at wide receiver 3 as Michael Gallup. He gotta be. So like, what would you be expecting from Jalen Tolbert? That's all I'm saying. With limited opportunities. And then in those limited opportunities, he did more than Kavontae Turpin did, you know, and had some clutch situations. So I don't know. I don't know how they'll give Kavontae Turpin a B and then give him a D though. Can we say that? Cause that don't sound right. You gave both of them had limited snaps. Hold on, let's see this again. Look, he ranked 66. Tolbert ranked 119. Goddamn. But I ain't gonna lie. Let's see what Tolbert did. Let's see what Turpin did. Look, 12 receptions, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. And look what Tolbert did. 22 receptions, 268 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, I'm just saying how that's a big difference in the grading right there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking up for him. I'm just putting some nuggets of thought out there. That's all. But it says he was near Michael Gallup level of disappointment in play. Tolbert gets a slight break because he did show marked improvement from last season. So he is on an upward trajectory. I agree. In limited opportunities, Tolbert caught 22 receptions and 268 yards and even hauled in 2 touchdowns. However, he only surpassed 2 receptions in a single game once and failed to hit 50 yards in all but 2 games. Grade D. With the decline of Michael Gallup, I expected Tolbert to show us more of his NFL-ready status on the field. Instead, we got minimal impact from a third-round receiver with big expectations heading into year 2. Dallas' best hope moving forward is that Tolbert continues to improve in his 3rd season. So, you know, I don't know, man. I agree with most of it, but I think they was a little harsh on Tolbert because, like, you can't do nothing without the targets, though. You know, and we seen, okay, look, if you're going to be hard on Tolbert, but light on Turpin, though. That's all I'm saying. So at least be consistent with how you're looking at it. I'm not saying that Tolbert should be a B, but I don't agree that Turpin should be a B either. So you know what I'm saying? If you would have gave them a similar grade, I think that would have been fair.